Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the Appleton Oak.
I'm the Appleton.
I'm all out
keep
of
it rolling.
sorts.
Come on, keep it going. Just go with it.
Go with it. And that's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Woo, I'm all out of sorts because just like I'm in chaos, Tommy's whole world is in chaos right now. His wife just got shot. I don't know what's going to happen next. This is insane.
I don't know how I can top that, but I'm definitely ready,
mess.
willing, and able to dive right back into the chaos of Peaky Blinders.
That was a nice recovery there, Mason Quinn. We're just hoping that our friend Grace can recover in a similar fashion. I hope.
I'm here. Bring some dark shit. Let's go! Oh, they changed up the intro music.
There.
It's quite the stool he's sitting on.
It's a tiny stool.
That's not good for the knees.
Oh, what a shot of Cillian.
Same song, just
Yeah, the
different
new cover.
composition.
Oh. Love it.
Well, it did say in the subtitles it was right.
Oh, look at that horse.
Oh, yeah. We've also been corrected numerous times that there's one writer for all episodes.
Yep. One writer.
Thank you for reminding us firmly, folks.
Look at that place, huh?
It's a salt burn before salt burn.
Oh gosh, why do you bring that up?
Show ruined.
How's the baby?
He asks for his mum at night.
Did we lose Grace? I thought that it was like a collarbone shot.
Tommy made a list. He wants to see you two first.
What about John and Arthur?
Listen to him stomp.
Just
Someone's in a mood.
Do we? No, they have to be teasing the.
It's got to be somebody else.
Gotta
Just said the
teasing it.
funeral, and he goes out.
There's also been a threefold increase in donations to the Shelby Foundation charity. The council have suggested naming the new school the Grace Shelby Institute.
Well, there's our answer.
There's your answer.
The council then named Grace Shelby Institute as acceptable to us.
Wow.
What?
I mean,
This is a list on the other things I want doing.
I get they didn't have the medical back then, but still.
No, I'm in denial. Nope.
Shh.
I'm not believing it.
Nope, she's gone.
Not until I see a body, Quinn.
Slamming the hell out of that desk.
He wanted to see people in a particular order.
I can normally read them, but it's difficult to read, so be careful.
I thought it was a family meeting. All of us together, I thought.
John, he's grieving. To see everyone together would be too much.
Go on, John.
What?
John, I think, still has the seeds of.
Sabini and Solomons have already sent condolences, so it won't be long before they come trotting up the A1 like wolves.
Go on, there's a timetable.
Only good news.
It is only good news, Polly.
Oh, John boy.
There he is. We got to Angel at the hospital, where he laid. Cut his throat out. What about the old man? We interrogated his boys.
He went to Liverpool.
You pick him up and you bring him to me. Who's he got travelling with him? His wife. Well, his wife. So shoot her and bring him to me.
Oh.
Tommy, Mrs. Changretta was a teacher at our school.
She's a good woman, Tom.
You're
Well, if she's a good woman, then she'll go to heaven. Hey, Arthur.
Oh,
Cold
Jesus.
as ice.
Just do what's on the list. Nothing else than burn it. Don't speak on the phones. The Secret Service is listening.
I'm in complete denial. Oh, my God.
If you ain't gonna burn her, you're gonna have to tell us something.
That's Polly.
You saw Michael before or...
Say, John. Because legitimate business, John, is the priority.
Since when? My wife took a bullet meant for me! We're a couple of fucking toy soldiers. Do this, John. Do that, John. Kill your teacher, John!
Damn. There you go, John boy. Let it rip.
Wow. He has been waiting, yeah.
All that business is done. Legitimate business is the priority. Do what's on the list and off.
One more job, then we're legit.
I know we're in the servants' quarters because it's where the booze is kept.
I'm just saying, there is no need.
When she's drunk, my wife
He's
can't
with that
speak
knife.
Yeah.
English.
Oh, shit. Oh, boy.
Since when was I your boss, Arthur?
First the boss meeting, then the workers meeting.
When did either of you two do a day's work?
In the old days, Finn. We get the guns out, John. We go outside and we shoot some fucking peasants. That's what the boss is doing, it.
The f did you say? I didn't ask for separate meetings today.
Pheasant.
Just the whiskey talk.
I don't ask to be protected, all right?
The pair of you. Sit down.
Michael just kept pushing.
Yeah, he like cracked a smile for a half second. And
I think it's about time we all started acting in a way more appropriate to our station.
Got that right.
Tommy's John. Swear to God he's in a wagon with Johnny Dogs.
Dude,
This is what he does now.
I'm sorry, folks, but I thought for sure Grace
Up
got hit in
here.
the shoulder. I'm gonna have to go back now and
Yeah.
double check. I guess this is the first. If that's the case, and we all thought
Yeah.
this is the first time we're wrong.
Yeah.
It's always oblique in the shoulder. You're fine.
Always.
Shut up on at least one woman, Tommy.
Johnny is the woman we're going to see. There, boy.
What?
Grace. It has to.
It's his business partner.
Yeah, May.
With
What if
water.
there's a deeper plan here?
What if she is in protection? He's going to visit her, but he has to pretend like she's gone to protect her.
I'm banking on that. I'm all in.
He's going to see. He's
pushing all his chips in.
Where's the wrong category? Right there.
Show me it's on the board.
So we'll go out through Meridian and into the Black Mountains.
Hopefully that's not poison ivy.
Yeah. Give me some. Boy.
Drool.
Remember last night when you asked after Mama? She's gone, Charlie, and there's a few things we need to get straight. There's her clothes. We'll keep things the way they are in the room. Keep things the way they are. There you go.
Well, he's probably just saying that to protect his son.
Let's hope so.
She's not going to be coming back, so it's just you and me.
Okay, there we go.
Tommy.
Yeah.
This horse of yours won't come to...
That was a favourite horse, Charlie. Yeah, you watch him.
I will. Oh, yeah? Huh?
There you go. Now she's been cocked. She's alive in your hand. Why does a pen pusher who sits on his arse all day want to fire a gun? Hit again.
Because you know he wants to be doing what you guys are doing.
Yep.
Look at that face, John. Look at that face. You won't feel nothing until you point that thing at a man.
Oh,
Zero hesitation.
Finger on the trigger. Oh, no, we don't do that.
Now you feel what we feel.
Okay, that's enough. I mean, you guys are drinking and...
How does it feel, Michael? Huh? Better than having a pen in your hand, and it's more like having your in your hand. Michael, so Webley don't trump me like that. When you pull that trigger, and the body of the man you shot wraps itself around your ankles, and pile up.
Jesus Christ.
It gets to the point where you can't walk in a room without bringing a load of them with you.
This is...
What's going on?
Oh.
just having some drinks.
Shooting some bottles over there.
Boy, we're just educating the boss here on our side of the business.
Good in the house.
Ooh.
That got pretty tense.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Whoa. That just showed John and Arthur how big of balls he has. Because they don't even talk back to Paul.
No.
Yeah, he still went in the house, though.
Arthur.
I'll go in the house.
Arthur
just so
gave-
you know.
Arthur gave her the look.
Just one hand and it barely sighting anything up.
And he's drunk.
Man.
Well, I mean, we've been seeing it out of Michael every time.
Yup,
he
he
just to get more and more
gets a
involved
little-
than just doing the legitimate.
A little bit closer every time.
Oh, fire in the background.
So many OSHA violations.
Not at the time.
I told your brother this whole fucking plan won't work. If Tommy wants to keep this secret, tell him there was a woman in a fur coat walking through here in broad daylight, like the Queen of fucking Sheba, asking about armoured cars.
During a period of grading, some things were allowed to slip. We know the woman. We're dealing with it.
Just any kind of life I can grab.
Yeah.
These are all the men who worked the night shift who are members of the South Birmingham Communist Party.
You've got 6 weeks. Sack them all.
Are you mad?
He is.
This whole workforce.
Look at the list again. Are there any communists on your shift who aren't on the list?
Manuel Hunter. We left that name off the list on purpose. See if you could be trusted.
We're going to be watching you. Watching your fucking house.
I've got kids.
Ethan and John.
Ooh.
Just get them sacked as they appear on the list. 2 a week. The last one before the clocks go forward. Is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're in it now.
Dude.
So he's got to make up excuses to fire these guys.
Do you think he really has to have legitimate excuses?
Well, to stop them from going on strike.
You could also be surprised at the things I don't know.
What could you possibly not know?
I wasn't educated at all.
What is there to learn after all? I'm sorry, you must need a rest.
I need one of these.
Do you tell your friends you're painting a gangster? Is that the fun in all of this?
In truth, I don't have any friends. I knew everyone through my wife. When she died, well,
Ooh, right back at you.
my motivation for doing this is twofold. Firstly, you have a face full of contradictions, and it's a challenge to capture them in one expression. That's the sales pitch.
That's a sales pitch.
Is that I am planning to seduce you eventually. Please, God, sleep with you.
Aunt Paul still got it.
Oh, yeah. You know, sometimes it's just good to tell the truth and get it out there.
That's how Tommy does it. He just lays it out there right away. How's this going to go?
Life is a lot easier sometimes when you're just straightforward with your intentions.
Straightforward, tell them the truth.
Yep.
Thank you for your time, Madam Boswell.
I heard someone shot your wife.
Oh, it was cursed.
My wife was wailing the night she was shot. I lie awake at night. At 4 in the morning, and I blame myself for her death.
You want me to tell you this Jude is cursed, and then her death won't be all your fault.
They are very superstitious.
Especially Gypsy.
Priests, I will confess and ask for forgiveness, but all I have is you, Madam Boswell.
Remember, because that chick did say it was
Yep.
cursed.
Yep.
It is cursed. I feel its curse burning through my heart.
And just like the Russian said.
Bless you, Tommy Shelby. You'll have
sure.
good fortune from now on.
The business is done. It's done.
He wanted closure on that.
All religion is a foolish answer to a foolish question. We'll go and get Charlie from the camp. He'll have learned enough bad habits by now. He can drop us to the train station. And Johnny boy, if I were you, I'll come back here tonight. Later on, it's going to be one hell of a big party.
And now he's back at it.
Yeah, holy shit, looks like the Titanic.
It does.
I thought these Irish filled in their papers in advance. Think about Mott Street, a cafe. The smell of the coffee. Oh, signore, what did you passare?
I don't think it's going to go that well for you.
By order of the Peaky Blinders.
Oh no, what's gonna happen here?
Police! Police! Officer, there are some men. They mean us harm. We are in danger here. Can you escort us to the dock?
Excuse me, brother. Have you got a light?
I don't think that was the guy that was doing that.
No, it was. I think it was to smoke him out.
Yeah. And now the real threat will be up here.
Yep.
Or it was the cop. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Remember, they got anybody and everybody in their pocket.
Yep. Putting that memory away.
Boy, the place he brought us is very secluded.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a dock at all. We're under the dock.
That'll be all. John Shelby.
I said let him go, he's coming with us.
We're disobeying orders here.
Let him fucking go! You have 10 seconds or Tommy's orders stand.
I love you forever.
Oh!
Wow.
I was thinking that's how this might play out.
Yeah.
They wouldn't listen to Tommy on this one.
Wow. Well, they disobeyed.
Yep. Well, and he was responsible for Grace.
Come to Tupelo.
They're lucky they disobeyed Tommy. But I mean, I get it. She knows that he's donezo.
The beast it cometh down.
The beast is coming.
It cometh down. Tupelo bound.
Is that a gas can? No, it's a briefcase. No, it's probably a medical kit.
Beware when open can't find locust cats and locust ball until the king is born.
Yeah, these lyrics are real interesting.
Oh, this scene's gonna be intense.
This is gonna be nuts.
Do you know what time it is? Oh man, it's after 7 in the evening. And I'm gonna keep you alive until it gets light.
Oh.
I'll not deliver the final cut until we can both hear the blackbird singing outside. It's a beautiful sound, which my wife will never hear again.
Oh boy.
Oh man, what's
he starting?
I'm gonna have to choose carefully. Which part of you I cut away first? Open your eyes, or I will cut away your eyelids. It was your tongue that gave the order.
Oh no.
I'll take your tongue first.
No.
Then I'll take your ears. And I'll take your fingers.
He's taking his time.
Yep.
Well, he's got all night.
I'll forget who I am. I forget who I am.
Okay, never mind. He's coming.
Blinder, I'll take your fucking eyes first. I heard the blackbird sing.
I think that's probably better for Tommy.
Probably.
Definitely better. Tommy was going to go to a real dark place for a real long time.
And we let his wife board the immigrant ship to New York.
Oh, this is not good.
Yeah, that could have been a dangerous spiral for him.
For me.
He almost looks relieved.
Cufflinks and hookers.
Oh,
for good.
Nice, the case with all the...
Yep.
Wow. A lot of things in this episode, man.
Mm-hmm.
This jackknife is rusted.
Not all laughs and giggles like the first 5 minutes.
You can pound that dinner.
This is what the show's good at. It'll do that like for a little bit.
It's like it grabs you and slaps you in the face and grabs your attention.
Soldiers think.
Yeah, he could never be this if he would have done that. Arthur did him a favor.
is for bravery.
Part of me was thinking that he was going to be pissed at Arthur for taking that away from him. But
yeah.
Everything's a
But I could also realize, you know, look at how
yeah, it's the flip side.
out of whack he was after the war, too. He wasn't, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to go back to that.
Yep. So that's a whole different version of him. And things are going so good right now, you can't.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at what's
Well,
so well.
I'm talking
Even
about
prior,
the business.
business and all that stuff.
I spoke to an old friend of Freddie's. He's a Communist Party candidate for Balsall Heath. I asked him about the Birmingham branch of the National Vigilance Committee. He said he'd heard the Soviet embassy was getting information from the inside.
And? Did you get a name?
He just promised me no one will get killed.
Ada, it'll be me, or John, or Arthur, who gets killed if you don't give me the fucking name.
James Montland. He's a Lloyd's underwriter. He's got an office on Curzon Street. Tommy, for sake, who is it that's ahead of you?
I know I could count on you, Ada.
No, you can't. And I just asked you a question.
You can change what you do, but you can't change what you want.
And what is it that I want?
There's going to be a vacancy coming up at Shelby Company Limited. Boston office.
Boston, America.
He wants to send her there.
No revolvers, all legal. Just turn a few heads. Do the transit deals.
Roll.
Oh.
Fire, fire.
Well, he's been trying to get her away for
Yeah,
seasons.
not just him. Paul was
Yeah.
her and Freddie.
Yeah.
Is this James?
Moved your chair.
Yep. Ah! What's this behind your ear? Oh, is this yours?
Oh, what a shot that is.
You may be cool, but are you as cool as Thomas Shelby walking through slightly lit areas?
Oh.
What do you want with me?
You've been passing information about a robbery at the Lanchester factory in Sparkbrook. I need to know the name of the person in the organisation who's giving you information. The Economic League, the Vigilance Committee, the Odd Fellows, Section D. They have many fucking names. Shit.
Mr. Shelby, they are very, very dangerous people.
Oh. Fortunately, so are we. You have to choose who you're more afraid of. The Peaky Blinders at exactly 11:43 or at some point in the future.
I guess.
Make the wrong choice, you won't see 11:44.
What a way to put it.
Making it nice, Arthur.
Only because, you know, slows down production. Thank you.
Night work will have to end.
I will.
You'll have things to do at night.
You're not. We've spoken about it.
I was going to wait until you had a strong cup of tea in your hand.
Come on, then.
But I'm going to have a baby, Arthur.
Oh. Wow.
You said you spent the night taking stock. Well, so did I. This working at night will have to stop.
What a twist.
Well, good thing Arthur's getting it together.
Oh boy. I mean, because that conversation is gonna have to come with him and Tommy about no more nights.
Right then.
Wow.
Or is she lying?
Come on. Is that they'd say?
Is she lying? God damn it, I don't know.
I've got a stolen statue back there with its hanging out. Tell me later.
Yeah, look, he's not here. He's not here, I'm going.
Look who it is. Oh, how's this gonna go?
He's fucking giving us all this shit. Come on. Right. Arthur, you got wire on the fucking cork. Give it in.
Jesus.
Linda is up to Swanee. I'm going to be dead. Yes, girl. Arthur, you knew you had it in you.
I knew you.
Your timber, she reckons. Her tits feel different already.
Absolute. Nah, nothing's gonna change, John.
Goodbye, Arthur.
Goodbye, Arthur.
I have to go, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you do.
I don't think Arthur can be his hammer anymore.
No.
You got you, mate.
Congratulations.
On be dead.
Proud of you.
He's saying goodbye to him with that look.
So we lost life, we're gaining life. Oh, what a wild episode.
It's just,
because you can't do the line of work that Arthur does
No.
and have a family to worry about on the back end.
Well, John has been doing it, and now Tommy as a kid, but he said Arthur's always been the hammer.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Look who it is.
Your Highness, Mr. Thomas Shelby.
Welcome, Mr. Shelby. I believe you've met everyone apart from my wife, Grand Duchess Isabella Petrovna. Please, take a seat.
Grandsire.
We must offer you our sincere condolences on your recent loss, which some of us witnessed. Did you drive, Mr. Shelby?
Yes.
Look at her face.
Yeah.
I am curious, what was your father's profession?
Well, he told fortunes and he stole horses. Often he would tell a man that his horse would be stolen, and they would marvel at his powers when it was.
What is going to happen here?
For what we are about to receive, the Lord.
Say grace.
Done it deliberate.
I'm here to do business. What I have to say can be said before the main course. This is a report on the mission's progress so far. I've made only one copy for security. Who should I give it to?
My husband? But since there will no doubt be vodka later, perhaps you should give it to me for safekeeping.
Look at those eyes tell a story.
Who's the boss?
5 factory foremen on our payroll who've begun a campaign of victimization against communist workers in 5 factories across Birmingham. Anger amongst the workers will grow, but we will control it. On the night of June 21st, a general strike will be called across the city. Protests will develop into riots, and all police that are not already under our control will be busy. The city will be paralyzed. We have 2 locomotive drivers who have been allocated to drive the midnight goods train to London. The armoured vehicles will be waiting on flatbeds.
And the ammunition.
The ammunition...
I have to say that this soup is exceptional.
Ammunition, incendiaries will already have been packed up and crated for transport to Istanbul.
And how long to London?
The train won't reach London. All the goods will be unloaded at a coal yard at St Albans and put onto Shelby Company trucks. From there, they will go directly to the Poplar Docks.
Your Highness, if you're having difficulty understanding his accent, then...
Look at this guy.
If there is no ship waiting for my men, all goods will be dumped into the sea before first light.
What happens when they discover the armoured cars are missing?
During the rioting, the Lanchester factory will be firebombed. A scrap metal dealer of my acquaintance declared that all the armoured vehicles are in the wreckage and should be written off as salvage.
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off.
I'm certain that nothing has been overlooked.
This is the amount of extra expense I believe I will incur for trucks and fuels.
Give that here.
Oh.
Before I go,
Nice.
He knew she was going to take it. Nice.
and I'm unable to swallow food in the same room as this priest. Enjoy your evening.
And the last little tidbit for the Queen.
Tatiana, see Mr. Shelby to his car.
Yes.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, it's not looking good for the grandsire.
It's quite concave soup spoon. A lot of soup in that.
Slurpage. Glad they got out of there before Dave went nuts.
custody.
Priest is passing information about the robbery.
There we go.
From England. He, in turn, is passing information to the Soviet embassy. You want him dead, I'll kill him, no charge.
Why would the priest pass information to our enemies?
I'm being paid to act and to observe like a soldier. The complexities are your business. Go and speak to Isabella. I trust her to decide.
You were able to continue your business dealings even after what happened. Perhaps you didn't love her.
Oh boy. Yep.
She's here by my side, and she says, don't trust these people. Now give me permission to kill the priest.
Oh,
Jesus, man.
That was not 50 whatever minutes.
What a ride. So
Outstanding.
much happened in this episode.
This was huge.
Well, this was what, episode 4?
Yeah.
This was 3.
3? So
Episode 3.
Yep.
Wow. Unbelievable.
What a banger.
So yeah, it was a perfect midway point of the season.
It was definitely sad. I mean, gosh, you guys, you hit the nail on the head, Diamond Dave, with so much stuff happening. I mean, we had Michael standing up to Arthur and John, which I like to see because I like the position that they're putting Michael in. And we saw John, you know, the way he stood up to Tommy there in the office, that was incredible. I didn't see that coming. And you know, kudos to the actors in that one. I always talk about how the one-on-one acting in this show is so damn good, and that was no exception. So I liked seeing John Boy kind of stand up for himself a little bit there because everybody was kind of walking on eggshells around Tommy. Even Arthur, who was real kind of quiet and meek in the meeting with Tommy when John was in there, turned into a totally different guy once he was out of the meeting, which I found real fascinating. Speaking of Arthur, I think he's...
Congratulations!
Well, I think the look that Tommy gave him was one of, you're finished here.
Yeah.
You're no longer going to be able to do the job that I have for you. Because we were already seeing cracks of that earlier on where he wasn't the same Arthur. His new wife playing a large part of that, trying to kind of make him into a better man, if you will. So I think that Arthur is, you know, he's still family, so he'll probably be involved some way. But as far as being the hammer that we know Arthur to be, I think he's done with that. And I think Tommy basically told us as much. And with Tommy, it took a lot for Diamond Dave to realize that Grace was done for. And I thought maybe he was going to meet May, but it turned out Tommy was going to meet the, I guess we call her the highest gypsy lady that Tommy knows. And a lot of you folks in the comments reminded us, I should say, of just how suspicious and superstitious the Shelbys are of people and of kind of that type of magic or curses and things like that. So that plays a big part. It was good to see Tommy finally get the closure of getting rid of the necklace. Then he could kind of move on. We saw him take Grace's picture, put it in the drawer, and close that. And it's almost like he was just closing out that part of his life. Now, I don't know how he's going to do that when he's got a son. So it's going to be real interesting to see how that plays out. And I just kind of wonder if Tommy's son is just going to kind of play the role that like Judith played in The Walking Dead, where she's there, or you know, he's there. Judith was just there, kind of hanging out, being baby with somebody. Then we don't see the baby for a couple of episodes, and then oh yeah, by the way, Tommy has a son. So I'm curious to see how the logistics of that are going to play out, because I think Tommy gave the look to Arthur of like, look, you have a family now. That means that you can be reached. People can use that as a weakness. You can be leveraged. So that was incredible. And then I'm going to jump ahead to the priest, who I don't think any of us trusted from the beginning.
No.
And now Tommy wants to be able to take him out for free, no charge. And it was a nice touch, though, how Tommy kind of found out who the boss really was, handing first the information and then the napkin, which he knew the queen would then grab. So just phenomenal writing, and I don't know if it'll make the cut. I hope it does, but this show, like, we kind of came in having some fun with it earlier on, and then the seriousness of it eventually just grabs you, and it completely changes your mood, and you don't have a choice but to be 100% focused and dialed in and completely sucked into this story. I love it.
And do you think that during that scene when after Tommy left, the priest was sitting there and he was taking a soup, he was kind of looking around like, oh, my days might be numbered, because
he knows
that's what
doing.
it looked like to me, especially when right away he told her all that. But yeah, obviously another phenomenal episode of Peaky Blinders. I mean, like, even going back to where Paul was getting painted, and it's like she's in a nice elegant dress, because we see the couple times when she's really dressed up and everything, it seems like she's happy for herself. She feels like she's
a different person.
Because she even did a toaster when they were down in the quarter. She's like, look at where we are right now from where we came from. And so she loves having this higher lifestyle. And that's why she wants to always keep Michael out and away from John and Arthur, because she wants to keep him safe, keep him on the legitimate side, so that way he doesn't fall into the stupidity sometimes that John and Arthur are doing.
But then what he said to her. Oh.
Well, yeah, and it was funny. He talked back to her, but yet still went to the house. So he's like, just let me get this out, Mom, in front of my friends. I want to make it look tough in front of my friends. But because he has to realize, like, why do you want that lifestyle? Does it look cooler because it happens to work out? No, you should stay on the safe side where you're making plenty of money and still reaping all the benefits.
Well, he has to be the face of the legitimate business.
Exactly. And then we saw in previous episodes how John and how Esme has always been in his ear about more and more stuff. So that's why then too, John finally had to say something to Tommy, because like he was sick of it. He's like, it's always been family meetings, and now Michael was in there, and so he feels betrayed, even though Michael's like, I didn't decide it. It's not like it was me. I was just told to go in there. And now with Arthur becoming a father, like, I'm interested to see how his character is going based on on the relationship with his father. How he was always he always kept on being trustworthy of his father, and it always bit him in the ass. Even when Tommy told him don't give him any money, he gave him the money, and still same thing happened. So I'm interested to see how his arc will go now, knowing that he's going to have a child and how he's going to treat them. So I think that's really interesting that happened, whether in real life or not, that they wrote this in there, because especially too I agree with you with Tommy's like, you can't put him in that spot.
Yeah, just the look he gave him around that little fire pit.
And I mean, and because earlier you saw that, Arthur saved Tommy from, they would disobey his orders, and they even told Thomas what they did because of what possibly could happen, that spiral that he could keep going down if he did torture that guy the way he wanted to and thought of doing it in his head. So once again, just another great episode. What can you say?
Yeah, man, they loaded this episode up with a lot of issues. Of course, we found out that we lost Grace. I thought it was like right around a collarbone area shot, which of course can be fatal, but I was wondering if that was like their version of an oblique shot. It was high, so it wasn't, but could have been upper lung. That was interesting that they kind of put the fast forward on him dealing with Grace's loss. I don't know if it felt hurried. We're only one episode in. It'll be interesting to see if further episodes, whether there continues to be a focus on him kind of working his way through, his daily business without Grace there.
After losing her,
so that'll be interesting. So much character development in this. We saw Michael finally, even though he's the face of the legitimate side of the business, he wants to be taken seriously. On the flip side of it, we saw John and Arthur upset because they feel like they've taken a step down. And Arthur, being very sympathetic to Tommy given everything that's happened, where John was like, no, this is the time to have a serious discussion. I liked that John and Arthur made some decisions on their own in spite of what Tommy had told them. We see so much in this show, and it looks like this whole crew is pretty morally flexible, if we can use that term. But John and Arthur did not want to take out their teacher. She said she's a good person. She wasn't involved in any of this. And then I thought it was a very, very powerful scene when Arthur, handled the business for Tommy, because we we're getting ready to see Tommy go to a very, very dark place. And, once you do that to somebody, I'm guessing that's something that you never fully come back from, and he didn't, Arthur didn't want Tommy to be that person.
And then the next scene was Tommy with his son.
Yeah, Tommy with his son. Of course, we saw that relationship develop a little bit. Finding out Arthur's going to have a baby, I think is interesting, especially because earlier on in the episode, he's at the factory and the guy's like, I've got 2 sons, and he knew their names.
Yep.
It was like, okay. So they kind of showed how, people who operate in this sort of business can exploit, your family to get what they want. And you have to wonder moving forward if that's going to happen to Tommy, if it's going to happen to Arthur. And we already saw Arthur's new special lady friend, trying to get him on a straighter path. Whether you like her character or not, or whether you think she's, she's doing what anybody who cared about somebody would. Like, okay, you're in a bad line of business. You need to get out of that. You need to be home at night. So, on one hand, you could look at her like, oh, she's just taking Arthur away from the Peaky Blinders. It's like, well, she's trying to take him away from a life of crime.
Well, how does she meet somebody like Arthur Shelby? That's
you never know. You never know. Opposites attract, and people come together, and you can like all sorts of things about an individual and not other things, and still want them to be a better person for themselves and for the best interest of the relationship. There's a wanting somebody to change isn't always a bad thing, if you can be a positive influence on somebody and, you have a good relationship and things in either person's life, male or female, can be better. Hey, good for them for looking out for somebody's best interest. But, the end was heavy, of course, with Tommy going and saying, look, he wants the priest out. I forget her name, but they had their scene out by the truck where, she was really straightforward. I don't know if you guys remember. She was really straightforward with Tommy at the fundraiser. Mm-hmm. So it was like she was almost like flirty there to a point where she kind of like, oh, it's business flirty, but not really. And just that last cutaway of the way she looked at Tommy, it's like I feel bad saying well, do we have a new love interest already? But I just caught that look, and I wasn't sure if it was a look of just shock, like she can't believe that, given how powerful a position she seems to be in, that Tommy grabbed her by the face.
Somebody's done that to her.
Yeah, told her what was what. But I thought I saw a look where she was, a little into it, and maybe she's, kind of seeing the same thing that Grace saw. You see somebody who's, kind of a straight shooter, is a person who knows what they want and is a position of power, and maybe there's things about that she finds attractive. But I kind of caught a little bit of vibe on that very last look.
Yeah, it almost, the way they did it, it was like it took her breath away a little bit. She was like, I couldn't believe it that somebody did that to me.
And obviously that's the type of behavior, grabbing somebody by the head like that is not appropriate and wouldn't condone it. But at the same time, she looked like she was intrigued by it, which is, there's a lot of different ways to read into that. But in any regard, they had so many different things going on in this particular episode, so much internal development, even the scene with Aunt Paul when the guy's like, I'm going to seduce you. Yeah. She was like, okay.
It made her happy.
She just went back to
got back in her pose.
Yeah, got back in her pose. So it's crazy how they have this show, or the show is written in such a manner where you have so much content, so much going on. It's an hour episode, and there's not 2 seconds of this episode. There's not 2 seconds that you could trim off. Every single bit had to be in here.
Yep.
And I thought that was so powerful. So, just another incredible episode.
Yeah, I'm still holding on to 1% that Grace is alive.
1%. After all that.
1%. I know
the final episode, they're at a cafe in
I'm
Florence.
so tempted to go online right now and
1%.
find out.
But why would he
1%.
talk? Why would he talk to his son in that regard? Like, mommy's
Dave,
gone.
it's just 1%. I'm not saying 99% of me thinks she's
Can
still
we go
alive.
like point-
I'm holding on to a
point-
little
we
bit
go
of
like
hope.
point one?
You had your time
No.
to talk. So 99% of me believes she's done. Get it, folks. Go ahead and just type away in your comments, Dave. She's dead. Go for it. I still say 1% of me wants to think that she's still alive. And I'm actually kind of surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be at this point in watching Stephen Knight do his stuff here. But I'm really surprised that's how they ended her character, just like that. Boom, done at the end of an episode. And then the next one rolls into just, oh, yeah, we had a funeral. She's gone. We're going to tell the kid to reconfirm it 5 more times that she's gone. And then a couple more times throughout the whole episode. Then a couple more times towards the end. I'm just really slightly taken back that there wasn't any kind of like graceful send-off. Not that there should be in everything on around every death, but to me, she was kind of a prominent character for Thomas Shelby here.
Right.
I think what happens sometimes, and we've seen this.
Well,
in
same
other,
thing with Freddie.
We've seen this in other shows.
Well, that was a different circumstance.
We've-
Maybe there was some. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, sometimes we see this in other shows where Grace's performance in season 1 was so brilliant that you almost wonder if some other, whether it be a movie shoot or some other series or something like that, had approached her and said, "Look, we want you on this. We want this. You on this project." You know, and that's the commitment she makes, and she goes back to the Peaky Blinders people, and they're like, "Can we get you for 2 episodes?
Yeah.
We'll adjust the story to, you know, because sometimes we see that where actors or actresses, you know, that we feel like are so integral to shows will get written off because they have other projects or they can't come to certain terms or things like that. So I will agree, it did feel a little abrupt.
Yeah, and maybe there was something like that because right now, you know, we're not searching anything Peaky Blinders because we want 0 spoilers.
0. Yep.
So I'm gonna have to kind of lean on you guys for telling me like, hey, Dave, simmer down. She had this contract and it only said XYZ or whatever the case may be. Just
she had to film
let me
Peg.
know. Maybe it was the film. Maybe she, you know, this was all along the character arc for her, and that's probably 100, maybe the whole thing. I'm just again surprised with her being such at least in my eyes. Maybe not in other people's eyes. She's not that prominent, but I feel like she was a cornerstone for Thomas Shelby.
Absolutely.
Like Arthur here, I would be surprised. Let's say the next episode. Hopefully, it's not the case. If Arthur gets taken off, to me that would be another kind of, to me, a major death. That if it's just collarbone shot, yep, he's gone. Next episode, and we're just.
It's not The Walking Dead, Dave. We don't need to lose somebody every other episode.
You know,
Not The Walking Dead.
I'm just trying to give examples, and maybe they're not good enough. But either way, I'm still surprised and kind of slightly shocked that that's how. You know, I even went back and looked here. It was a collarbone. Again, like you said, not that somebody couldn't pass on from that. And I get it, Dave. You're probably saying, well, Dave, take a look at the times. I get that too. Again, fictional world, you would think
Called
some
wishful thinking, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Put a couple of leeches on her shoulder and she'll be fine.
That's what it was back in the day.
So I'll
right?
move on
Leeches?
from that. I think I said enough on that. Arthur being a dad, I'm actually not surprised, but I am because
her face.
Her face, though, at the end there, just the build up too seemed a little like last second because she was trying what she thinks is a desperate attempt to make him stop, maybe.
No more
And
nights.
maybe I'm really wrong on that too, folks. Maybe she really is pregnant. But right now, I'm 50-50 if it's real. And then, like you said, Quinn, with Thomas having that look, I think it was 2 things. One, kind of like, I'm pretty much going to have to force you out. And 2, like, it's somebody else for the whole family to worry about.
Yeah.
And not saying that Tommy wouldn't welcome in family, right? But I do think with everything that's going on, that's probably one of the thoughts he may have had. I could have read that wrong.
As far as her lying about the pregnancy, I feel like they gave us his Arthur's biological comment to let us know that it was in fact a legitimate pregnancy. I think because I wondered the same thing. Oh, is it gonna, you know, to try to get him out of the lifestyle or whatever? But then he made his comment. You're like, okay, maybe that.
Well, they made it known the last 2 episodes too that she's been trying to get him off that night shift as much as she could.
Well, and I think the thing too, because a lot of folks might say, well, guys, John has a lot of kids and he's, you know, Tommy still uses him for what he does. Yeah, but John is a very different person than Arthur. Arthur is incredibly
going to get rattled a little bit.
I think Arthur's very fragile. As much as he is the hammer, I think he's very fragile. Where I think John could handle a lot more than Arthur.
It takes a lot more to get John up to that.
Well,
it seems.
And Aunt Paul and everyone else has kind of made it a point that he is, like you said, the hammer. He makes, for the most part. I mean, this episode was different now. Like, I almost wonder now if John is pretty much almost at the same level as Arthur, but I feel like now Arthur was the guy to do the really, really dirty deeds. And then John was, hey, I need a dirty deed of this. But after this episode, I feel like John's slightly there, or if not there, and maybe I'm just not remembering correctly from some other stuff. But with Arthur, it's going to be really interesting now because I feel like he's never going to get out of the lifestyle, in my opinion. You guys already know the answers, but I feel like he's not doing it. I need some more, I guess, proof on the tape here to show me that he's going to go that way. But I feel like now this is probably going to push Arthur to be even more protective than what he already is of family. And that could really lead down to some dangerous paths, especially if he thinks one way on a certain mission and that's not really the way it was supposed to go, and he went the extra length to make sure something was stopped right there, but then it has a tailspin of something else starting up. As far as the early on in the episode with the comedy, you're right, Quinn, it just went, we're here, we're kind of, not that they made lighthearted of it. It was just situational,
and we were kind of like, oh, come on, really? Like, she's gone? And we were kind of joking and having fun with it, but then it straightened us out real fast.
Yeah, and there's some other stuff that, again, a lot happened in here. The ending scene, too, the priest, I can't wait till that dude I can't wait till that whole table actually gets toast, to be honest with you. So I can only imagine what, I can only imagine what Tommy's going to go and do now. That's all I got.
Yeah. It was really
3x4 is going to be.
It was really cool to see, and we've been seeing it as these episodes go. And I'll make this real fast, but it's been really fun to see the development of the younger family members of the Shelby family. To see John, to see Finn, to see Michael. It's really fun to see the development of those three guys, especially. And I'm really curious to see how much more we get with Finn, and the fucking pheasants line had me dying. So that's all I got.
Real quick, the torture scene too. I was real curious too if Tommy was really going to go through that. The reason why I said he's stretching it is because I feel like if he was 100% committed to doing it, there would have been maybe just a few words, and then he was going to start doing what he was doing. Mm-hmm. But he kept kind of delaying, so that's why I was wondering. Up until that point where he was making that turnaround and said, I forgot who I am, and then turned around and started going for him. That's the moment where I think he just built himself up. I got to do it. Yeah. And then Arthur did what he did to basically save him a horrible moment.
Yeah, a lot of relief on his face when Arthur did him that favor, too.
And he told John, get rid of that. We're never using it again. Yep. And that was that case with all the torture items. Yep.
Oh.
But you know what's not torture? This show. It is amazing. We absolutely love it.
How much longer you guys want us to talk about it? Because we can go on and on.
This episode, I feel like you could talk a
champagne bottle the way that Arthur did.
While you're on it.
Absolutely love it. So for Appleton Oak, Diamond Dave, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.